Hello, everyone. Let's get right into it. That's okay. How's everyone doing? Um, Make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit the follow button, whatever channel you're on. Make sure you hit the follow on Facebook, um, on YouTube, Twitch, X, Instagram, and Substack, and TikTok soon. Right? So this has been a really rough week for Donald Trump, right? Very rough week. A lot of his base people have turned on him. People that were loyalists, right, have turned on him, and so um, it's been a pretty rough week for him overall. Thank you for joining me. Um, and It's interesting, right? Because they were talking about democratic socialism and how if a democratic socialist mayor was elected in New York City, that there would be uh, crime and there'll be out of control crime. Businesses will leave. The economy will collapse. And the worst part is that um, it's not because of Zoran Mandani, but it's pretty much because um, of the policies of of Donald Trump. But overall, crime is down in New York City. Our all-time record was set, right? All-time low crime rate was set, and the media's fuming because they cannot catch him. It's hard to catch him making blunders or making statements that they could say, "Hey, look, he said something that was bad. He's been, he's been a good person overall, and his favorability rating is a lot higher than the Republicans or or even the establishment Democrats, the ones that try to stop him from even uh, getting elected, right? Now they changed their tune. Now all of a sudden they're not against him anymore. Now all of a sudden they're speaking well of him. They're inviting him to events, and it's a different tune in the city, right? They're no longer hating on Zora Mandani, and the left is thriving, right? People want more populist policies that favor the working class, the poor, the people that are marginalized, right? This is a message that in the past, um, the Democrats were famous for being for workers. And we live in New York, right? So you would think that there will be a way for New York politicians to support Zoran Mandani. They try to obstruct him, try to hold him back, and he's just become more popular. The New York State budget hasn't passed, right? Still, the New York State budget still hasn't passed, um, despite people wanting overall for the rich to be taxed, right? It's something popular, right? Taxing the rich is something that most people favor, right? It's something most people favor. And the state is struggling to support a tax on the rich. The budget is passed to Trump's message, his message that he will supposedly was going to help the working class is faltering. Right now, gas hit an all-time high, right? Not an all-time high, but it's way higher than what it was on the Joe Biden. So gas is going to go up. And the energy department said that it's not going to be alleviated anytime soon. And Trump said, hey, like, it's not true, right? What the energy secretary said is not true. So do me a favor, hit the like, hit the share button. Um, let's get this live more popular. And I'm watching you. I'm picking up people in Twitch. I'm picking up people in Facebook, viewers and followers. I'm picking up viewers in X and also in Instagram and Substack. So obviously the message is resonating, right? The message is resonating that maybe democratic socialism is not a bad thing, right? After all, that's what gave us unions, right? Democratic socialism gave us unions. Democratic socialism gave us 8-hour work days, the lunch break, holidays, the roads, schools. Uh, they gave us a lot of good things, right? In our society. So, but the thing is that the media and the big media companies are really against it. And that's why we got to break the algorithm, right? We always got to break the algorithm and keep clicking the share button, the like button, and help support the program. Um, Two ways you could do it. You can contribute to the um, you can contribute to the GoFundMe page that I set up, or you can directly um, send whatever money you want to send to the Cash App, $1, $2, $3, whatever you can send helps to keep the program afloat. As you know my story, I've been fighting for workers' rights and for um, the ability of workers to stand up and to have a pro-worker city and have a pro-worker government that helps the people. It's for the people. It's by the people. That's a very positive message, right? The message I'm going to deliver is a positive message. I'm not going to ever deliver a negative message. And we got to give credit where credit is due, right? Um, the crime has gone down even below the what they said it was, right? And despite having less police officers, crime is down, and Zoran is doing everything possible to fight against the powers to be that want to say that it's good to oppress the poor, but it's not, right? It's never good to hold the poor back or treat them badly, right? Why invest so much in police when we can invest in our communities, invest in schools, invest in parks, invest in making lives better, invest in community in grocery stores, right? Community supermarkets that can help bring down the costs of everyday people, right? Why not bring it down for people, right? Um, People are struggling with this crazy economy. And I show people Donald Trump's numbers and his numbers on the floor, right? Despite having hardcore supporters, hardcore MAGA, hard, hardcore supporters that refuse to cave on him and refuse to speak badly of Trump. Um, they it's like they don't want to admit that they made a mistake, right? It's okay. Admit you made a mistake, and we'll see if we can trust you, right? To make these type of decisions, right? Because it's easy to just throw your support behind Trump, right? Always easy to throw your support behind them. Why? But why you throw your support behind them if he doesn't support you back? Have you seen the gas prices? What's the average gas price? And despite this, despite the gas prices being so high, despite this, it's still crime is still down in New York City. So what happened to the famine? What happened to the bad situation that people claimed was going to happen as a result of um of Trump getting elected? There's difficulty, right? There's difficulty in Trump's election, but it wasn't Zoran. New York City is actually thriving. Everyone said, "Oh, the rich are going to run away. The rich are going to run away." The ones that have been leaving the city are the most marginalized group, right? Are the most marginalized groups. It's not the people that are making the most money. I always said that rich people love to be around rich people. That's just a reality. They have a certain lifestyle that the city can give them, right? They have a certain lifestyle that the city can give them, and they don't care about paying a few $1,000. They spend a few $1,000s on breakfast, on lunch. There you go, everyone. That's the Cash App, old man labor. That's the Cash App. And so I was I worked at the MTA Metropolitan Transportation Authority. I used to drive a lot of people of all races, rich, poor, middle class, elderly, the young, and I would talk to a lot of people, right? I would talk to a lot of people in New York City on a daily basis, meet hundreds of people from different backgrounds, right? And so, what's the big deal, right? Right? Some people still get upset. So, and so, Zoran's plan, some people claim it's not a good plan, right? So, let's hear Fox News Business, what they had to say about the new tax that Zoran has proposed in New York City, right? He proposed a new tax on any properties that are any people that have properties more than two properties that they don't live in. A lot of people don't even they buy these expensive apartments to use it as a tax write-off, right? And to get their taxes pardoned, right? And so they buy these properties, they sit on them, and they then sell them for a lot more money down the line because they know that property always goes up, right? Because there's always the scarcity, right? As more people are born, more people live, the apartments go up in price, right? The apartments always go up in price. So they buy them, they sit on them for years, and then they sell them later on for a handsome profit. And they also do all types of things with this, right? So, so the tier tax is a new tax that he's offering on anyone that has more than one property in New York City, which a lot of them do, right? A lot of rich do.
Mayor Suarez, I don't know about you, but when I hear mayors on Mamdani talking about a pied-à-terre tax, which of course is a tax on what is oftentimes someone's second or third home here in New York City. I also hear the sound of property value crashing here in New York City. What is your take? What is this going to do to real estate here in the Big Apple?
Oh, it must sound like a big vacuum, Lydia.
And the funny part is they bring the mayor of Miami. The economy in Miami is not the same as New York. The properties are not the same. The rules are not the same. The laws are not the same. So why would you bring the mayor of Miami to speak about New York? This doesn't make sense to me. I don't know. Does it make sense to you? They bring the mayor of Miami to be the one that speaks about the New York City out of all the experts. But there was no one in New York that was willing to speak to them. Was there no one in New York that was willing to speak to them? It seems like no one in New York was willing to speak to them or say anything bad about what Zoran is doing. They know that Zoran is extremely popular. He has a very high approval rating. So they didn't dare criticize him or attack him, right? They haven't criticized him. They don't dare attack him. So, because they know how popular he is in New York. So they couldn't get anyone in New York to attack him. Um, they couldn't get anyone to attack him, at least in their program. Let's
Because
keep
that's exactly what's going to happen. You're going to see, property taxes fleeing from states like New York and any other state that decides that they want to replicate this. Because to your point, this is a second home or third home decision that someone has to make. And for someone who's deciding to buy a second or third home, they're going to buy it in a place where they want to be a certain period of time. They're not going to take up any resources essentially from any of the cities. So it's actually
So they're not taking resources from the city. They're not inflating the prices by buying these homes that people can actually live in. In prime real estate, people that live in the city can actually live there. And it will actually bring the prices down if they didn't buy up all the land. And you know that big companies and big corporations also buy property and buy land in places like New York City, and they just sit there vacant. And so, how could they be defending the super rich, or they should be allowed to buy two and three homes super cheap? How dare you make them pay their fair share? How dare you make them pay their fair share? How embarrassing, right? How embarrassing that you're making the rich pay their part. You guys are so embarrassing to put.
a moneymaker for cities, and you're turning a money making situation into a situation where you're going to lose a tremendous amount of money, which of course creates the inevitable budget gap, which can only be filled one way, doing what Mandami loves to do, which is increase taxes. He's never seen a tax he didn't love.
Okay, so the rich shouldn't pay their fair share. You're defending people inflating the prices of homes, buying several homes that they're not even going to live in, they're not even going to step foot in, and then selling it for way more money. And then this brings up the prices for everyone else. The regular people that are struggling, that are not making that much money, that need every dollar, right? So defend the rich as opposed to the people that are not able to pay their bills, the people that are struggling to survive. It's a sad point of view that a mayor that's elected publicly by his constituents is going to think this way. and present himself at this way, right? And so that's why people are frustrated with Democrats and the message that they have. Instead of fighting against the establishment, they're speaking for the rich and for the mega donors, right? It's bizarre.
I got a question for you about Obama hanging out with Mamdani. Does that surprise you? It seems like on the surface they're kind of different people. Some might.
Watch as
So
SPF.
what? So what if they hang out together, right? So what if Mandani and so what if Mandani is is hanging out right with Obama? They're two different people, but does it get you upset that they're hanging out together? Does it get you upset that they're together? I mean, they were far apart, and then they call Obama far left. I mean, Obama was a moderate, right? He was like a centrist, right? Obama was a centrist. I wouldn't call him a far left figure. You know what I mean? So they just do a hit job on Zoran on the daily basis, right?
Sometimes someone's second or third home here in New York City. I also hear the sound of property value crashing here in New York City. What is your take? What is this going to do to real estate here in the Big Apple?
Oh, it must sound like a big vacuum, Lydia, because that's exactly what's going to happen. You're going to see, property taxes fleeing from states like New York and any other state that decides that they want to replicate this.
They're
Because
gonna
to
run
your
away.
point, this is a second home or third home decision that someone has to make. And for someone who's deciding to buy a second or third home, they're going to buy it in a place where they want to be a certain period of time. They're not going to take up any resources essentially from any of the cities. So it's actually a money maker for cities. And you're turning a money making situation into a situation where you're going to lose a tremendous amount of money, which of course creates the
Wanna make it
inevitable
for who?
budget gap, which can only be filled one way, doing what Mandami loves to do, which is increase taxes. He's never seen a tax he didn't love.
Hey, I got a question for you about Obama hanging out with Mamdani. Does that surprise you?
I mean, there's not a tax that Mandani loves. So closing tax loopholes for the rich is so insulting, right? So disgusting. How do you dare close the tax loophole for millionaires and billionaires? How dare you? And these are apartments that are worth more than $5 million and they're their second homes. So it's not primary residences. It's not regular people that live in their home, right? People that don't live in the home.
It seems like on the surface they're kind of different people. Some might say at the real heart of it, Obama is very far left. But I kind of wonder, is
Obama's far
Obama
left.
hanging out in New York City with Mamdani because they know if Mamdani falls flat on his face, the Democrats face plant as well?
I don't agree with this. Do you?
Absolutely. I mean, they have no other option. I mean, they're desperate. When you think about they have no
Who's
bench.
desperate?
I mean, who are they going to advance? What is their plan? What is their ideology? What is their philosophy? Their
Oh
only
man.
ideology and philosophy is that they hate the president of the United States. And there's nothing that the president.
So he's hanging out with Obama. He also hung out with Trump. So what are they talking about? He also hung out with Trump. I mean, do you give him credit for that at least? Right? Think about it. Think about it. Double tap on the screen, everyone. Like the live, share the live. Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, X, Substack, Instagram. Hit the like button. I don't see no likes. I don't see no one liking the live or sharing the live. Come on, people. We could do better than that, right? Obama. Come on. Hating on Obama is all right, right?
can do that they'll ever give him credit for. I mean, he could, he's opening up the Strait of Hormuz right now. He saw.
Watch as SPF 50 protection disappears right before.
Painful, right? To me, it's painful, right? To watch these people, the way they talk, right? The way they talk is painful. They just simp for the rich, simp for the elite, simp for the people that they shouldn't be simping for, right? Simp for the bad, right? Crazy. And a matter of fact, there was an interview with Meet the Press, right? There was an interview with Meet the Press that Zoran was on, and they gave him a really hard time, right? They gave him a really hard time. Um, I don't know why, but they gave him a really hard time. He was on the outlet, right? And and they just grilled him so bad that it wasn't even fair, right? Oh my God. I love these people, right? And so this is their response. Oh my God, Zoran Mandani is now randomly knocking on doors and demanding to inspect people's homes. This is communism. Oh my God. You know that the city has a right to inspect apartments and make sure that it's livable. So now, oh my God, how dare him try to make it better for tenants.
The home to make sure everything's up to code.
Charge now.
All right, ready? Tell me where to go.
You want to check the window guard?
Okay. How you doing, sir?
Hey, how you doing?
How are you?
I'm all right.
Pleasure to meet you.
Yeah.
Mayor Mondani, we're here to inspect the home to make sure everything's up to code.
You're charged now.
All right, ready? Tell me where to go.
You want to check the window guard?
Okay. 11 is a negative.
That's $20. It's broken. This is not supposed to be.
There's a lot of New Yorkers who live with a worry about whether or not the conditions they're living in are actually up to code. It's, I mean, as you can see, it's the city's job to deliver on that.
Very important.
Yeah. This specific code we're looking at, the importance of it is for kids.
Yeah.
You know, children under the age of 6. But the good thing is as we were coming in, it was an opportunity to look at the whole building.
Right.
You know, is the fire escape as it should be?
We want to address egress and that the fire escape.
Yeah.
There's some flower pots there in the corner. So technically, there's not supposed to be anything on the fire escape. So
Okay.
that would be a violation.
Yeah, is all the information posted as you walk in?
Right.
But there's no apartment number listed.
Right. So this is incorrect.
You identified, I think, breaking the plaster.
Yeah.
This guy's top tier, top tier. I kept walking too fast. He was like, you gotta look for this. You gotta look for this. 22 years.
In this case,
How many
this,
violations did you see today?
well, all the window
Yeah,
spring balances that have to be replaced.
those
Uh,
were two, right?
those were one, two, three.
Three,
Those were three. The AC.
four.
Okay. We're also going to hit them with the window guard violation, and then we have here the one violation for the local law 86.
Which is the
Which
incomplete information on the side.
no, that's another one.
That's another one.
That's a different one. So that's two.
Another one.
Yes, so that's two.
Okay. It was a pleasure to be here at this building with a number of inspectors from HPD to ensure that these conditions are up to code. And what these inspectors showed me and showed tenants across this building is the inspections for heat violations, for paint peeling violations, for even just the information that is plastered as you come into the building. Over the course of this inspection, they found about 6 different violations that they will now issue directly to the landlord. Now, for any New Yorker who calls this city home, know that when you see those kinds of violations or you feel them, call 311, report them. HPD will come out and inspect them, and if they are indeed violations of housing code, we will hold landlords accountable.
What do you think? What do you think? I'm not glazing Sauron, okay? I'm just saying, pointing out what he's doing. That people are just so upset and angry and saying that he's overstepping his bounds. And so a lot of people don't know what democratic socialism is, right? Right? No, a lot of people don't know what democratic socialism is, right? Okay, so how about we go into it and we talk a little bit about what democratic socialism is, right? And maybe it's easier for people by hearing what democratic socialism is. Maybe they'll be a little bit more open to it, right? So this is the Democratic Socialists of America, and it's what is democratic socialism? Capitalism is a system designed by the only class to exploit the rest of us for their own profit, right? That's what they do. They exploit us like the landlords do. They make sure they make as much money as possible, and they try to spend the least amount of money possible. And so it says here we must replace it with democratic socialism, a system where ordinary people have a real voice in our workplaces, neighborhoods, and society. We believe there are many avenues that feed into the democratic road to socialism. Our vision pushes further than historic social democracy and leaves behind authoritarian visions of socialism in the dustbin of history. We want a democracy that creates space for us all to flourish, not just survive, and answers the fundamental questions of our lives with the input of all. We want to collectively own the key economic drivers that dominate our lives, such as energy, production, and transportation. We want the multiracial working class united in solidarity instead of divided by fear. We want to win radical reforms like single payer Medicare for all, defunding the police, refunding communities, the Green New Deal, and more as a transition to a freer, more just life. We want a democracy powered by everyday people. The capitalist class tells us we are powerless, but together we can take back control, right? So that's what it is um, us as a society taking over the those things that help or keep us in chains, right? It's like work, being it how what we produce, that our employers keep all of the profits and keep all of the benefits of um, of our whole system, right? They keep everything and they become billionaires off of our work. They always become billionaires off of our work. And our exploitation and of our hard work and dedication. They take advantage of this and make so much money off of it and don't allow us to thrive. And the moment you speak up at work, the moment that you say something that's out of line, they're ready to fire you or they're ready to um, get rid of you or reprimand you and let you know that what you're saying is not allowed in the workplace or not allowed in society, right? So tenants are very important. Landlords um, controlling everything and making so much money off of it, and that gets people upset. But it shouldn't get people upset because it shouldn't be that they control everything, right? That the rich control our lives, make us work more, make us work harder, right? And then they claim that they claim that that's just the best way to do things, right? Right. So this is one of the so you rather have this, you rather have a a system like this that we currently have where gas prices are out of control and us as a people are exploited. And then we have leaders like this, a billionaire like Donald Trump, a billionaire like Donald Trump controlling us. Israel never talked me into war with Iran. The results of October 7th added to my lifelong opinion that Iran can never have a nuclear weapon. Did I watch and read the fake news pundits and pause in total disbelief? 90% of what they say are lies and made up stories, and the polls are rigged, much as the 2020 presidential election was rigged. Just like the results in Venezuela, which the media doesn't like talking about. The results in Iran will be amazing. And if Iran's new leaders, regime change, are smart, Iran can have a great and prosperous future. President DJT, right? President DJT. Always, right? So this is what you want as your leadership. This is what you want for your leadership. Hmm. You don't want change. You want things staying the same, or are you ready for change? That's my question. Are you ready for change? Transformative leadership, transformative leaders that, uh, right? So right now, Trump has turned back 27 ships. The U.S. has turned back 27 ships since Strait of Hormuz blockade started. But the gas prices are still skyrocketing, right? The gas prices are still skyrocketing. No one knows what will happen, right? So, and in the blockbuster um today, just a few minutes ago, Labor Secretary steps down amid misconduct investigation. But he was partying, spending money on the taxpayers' dime, right? And so the Labor Secretary steps down. There's another cabinet member that Trump has lost due to scandal, partying, drinking, um, spending money on the taxpayers' dime, right? I mean, I'm talking about abusing the system, spending a lot of money, our hard-earned money, And you saying, oh no, it's not a big deal, but it is a big deal, right? So it is a big deal because that's our money. And so something that a lot of people haven't been wanting to talk about is the amount of money that Donald Trump has been spending playing golf, right? He goes play golf, plays golf every weekend, right? No one wants to talk about it. No one wants to criticize it, him, right? Nobody wants to criticize him, right? AOC said it better than anyone else, right? She said something, right? She said something interesting about Trump, right? AOC, which is another Democratic Socialist candidate. I mean, uh, another Democratic Socialist politician.
What do you make of Donald Trump's, I guess, work ethic, if you will? Obviously, it's awful that this guy's playing golf, but in a way,
I didn't play it again.
One other quick question. Donald Trump, he's been playing a lot of golf.
He spent $111 million just playing golf. $111 million just playing golf. And people are not upset with that. They're saying, oh, he's allowed to do that. He's the president.
While we're at war, prices are going up. What do you make of Donald Trump's, I guess, work ethic, if you will? Obviously, it's awful that this guy's playing golf, but in a way, we're already seeing that some of the most important military decision makers in the country are trying to keep him out of consequential decisions. So in some ways, you kind of want this guy on a golf course more than you want him in the Oval Office. But that also calls into question the 25th Amendment. Because if the determination is that Donald Trump cannot be trusted in the Situation Room and in unfolding scenarios, then he's not fit to be president. Got it. Thank you, Congressman.
Thank you.
And one other quick question. Donald Trump, he's been playing a lot of golf while we're at war.
We're playing a lot of golf. The numbers are racking up. He's been playing a lot of golf, right? But we have people calling him out, right? There's people calling him out. And so Pramila Paul says they say we can't afford childcare, healthcare, or food assistance, but there's always money for war and there's always money for Trump's golf trips. The money's there, it's not just for you, right? So what did Trump say? Right? Let's play his words, right? He has money for golf, but when it comes to your benefits, this is what Trump has to say about it, right? This is what he has to say. He said it. He said it out loud, the quiet part out loud. He must have thought he wasn't being recorded. He must have thought he wasn't being recorded because he said the quiet part out loud. Let's watch this. Let's listen to it one more time.
Because the United States can't take care of daycare. That has to be up to a state. We can't take care of daycare. We're a big country. We have 50 states. We have all these other people. We're fighting wars. We can't take care of daycare. You got to let a state take care of daycare, and they should pay for it too. They should pay. They have to raise their taxes, but they should pay for it. And we could lower our taxes a little bit to them to make up. But it's not possible for us to take care of daycare, Medicaid, Medicare, all these individual things. They can do it on a state basis. You can't do it on a federal. We have to take care of one thing: military protection, because the United
But he just worried about ramping up the military, spending money on the military. That should be the main goal of government, right? That should be the main goal of government. Screw you, veterans. Screw you, old people. Screw you, um, uh, retired people. Screw you, the disabled or sick. Screw you. We just have to spend money on war, right? He said it, the quiet part aloud. And these are the politicians you like. Thank you for the like, Daniel on X. Thank you. And these are the politicians you like, right? And this is so this is the difference between one politician and another politician, right? This is Zoran Mandani speaking about the Iran war and what it means, right? To most people. Listen to this, everyone. There's a big difference between politicians.
While we're told that we don't have even an ounce of that money to help working class Americans across this country.
Have you spoke to him? You have vehemently different views on the war in Iran.
Absolutely. I'm deeply opposed to the war. I think it's something that should be opposed not just on a political level or an economic level, but frankly, a moral level. We're talking about spending close to $30 billion to kill thousands of people an ocean away, while we're told that we don't have even an ounce of that money to help working class Americans across this country.
Have you spoken to him specifically about that?
It's no secret of how I feel about the Iran war. The president and I are very honest about those disagreements. And I'll give you another example.
But I know it's no secret that how you feel because you've told us. But have you two had a conversation about that specific issue?
We've had a conversation about a number of issues, and that includes our disagreements on foreign policy. And I'll keep the frequency and the nature of those conversations private because that's the premise of them. But I will tell you that in those conversations, it is one that is driven by actually being candid.
You have vehemently different views on the war in Iran.
Absolutely. I'm deeply opposed to
And
the war. I think it's something that should be opposed.
Candid, right? About being honest about how you feel about wasting money on sending bombs. Yeah, right? So let's see. Thank you for the likes, everyone. Thank you so much. I appreciate every single um, cent they send over to the program. I appreciate you so much, right? And then I lost my train of thought right there, right? So that's Zoran's point of view. Okay, getting back my train of thought. Just regain my um My thing of thought, right? And so Laurent also gave his point of view on the state of the Democratic Party, right? In the morning news, right? National broadcast. He gave his point of view on um, the state of the Democratic Party, right?
Politics includes them. And I think what we can see is that a democratic socialist politics is one that should be judged on its delivery, like any ideology. And what we're showing in this city is we can pursue the big things like universal child care and do the pothole politics at the same time that we're showing, and not just filling in the potholes, changing the catch basins, but also repaving over 1,000 miles of roadway.
But Mr. Mayor, presidential and statewide elections are often decided in battleground regions that do not look like New York City.
Yeah. I'll be honest with you. Before I was the mayor, I was an assembly member of Astoria in Long Island City. At that time, I was told that you could only be a democratic socialist in Northwest Queens. Then I became the mayor. Now the next question is the state. Then the next question will be the country. I think that this is a politics that can flourish anywhere because, frankly, there is only one majority in this country. That's the working class. And it's time we have a politics that puts them at the heart of what it is that we're pursuing and not as part of the appendix. You know, what I...
So he wants everything to be central on workers. The majority of people work for a living. The majority of people work for a living, have jobs, and work for a living. So those are the people that should be driving policies and our rules and our perspectives. And we could be electing politicians that are fighting for the working class, democratic socialists that are fighting for me and you. So why is it so hard to understand that the best thing you could do is elect somebody that doesn't take big money from big companies and take small donation? And so always I say, let's elect some more people like Zora, right? Let's elect more people like Zora. You agree or no? Right? So let's listen to another candidate that I enjoy.
By Joy Division.
Listen.
Song music.
Right? Listen to this uh, candidate that I really like, and so let's listen to her.
And I'm here to make sure we elect the first Palestinian woman in New York State history.
Hey, salam everyone. I'm Abir Kawat. I'm running for State Senate in District 12, which covers all of these neighborhoods in Western Queens. I'm running because we need leadership in Albany who's not going to take a penny from real estate developers, who's going to stand with our immigrant neighbors, and who's going to fight to pass not on our dime.
Not on our dime. That's that bill Mayor Mamdani was working on in the assembly, right?
That's right, not on our dime. Bars New York nonprofits from subsidizing Israeli war crimes and ethnic cleansing.
See, I know what that's like because in 2024, AIPAC spent a record amount of money to get me out of office. And every week in Congress, we were sending billions of dollars overseas to commit genocide while the people right here couldn't afford childcare or housing or education. Enough is enough.
That's right.
Thank you for running. Thank you for fighting. And I know you're going to get that bill passed.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
It's like you always say, they got money for wars, but can't feed the poor.
AIPAC.
And tax the rich.
Vote Abir Kawas on June 23rd.
Oh, all right. That's in New York. I mean, I like her as a candidate. She's very disciplined, very she's a democratic socialist, and she's does a good job, right? Uh, and as a new candidate, she doesn't take big money from certain people, right? Last person, I always like to highlight one or two local politicians. I'm gonna highlight one more, right? That I find impressive. That these are New York politicians, right? I find impressive, are good people, and so this is another politician that I I even got to door knock for her and or volunteer, and she's skyrocketing now. Uh,
Herramientas, maletas, todo lo que hacemos. My rent went up $500 a month overnight.
I've talked about it myself about whether you could have kids at all, purely in terms of how much money it would cost. Workers deserve it all. Not scraps, not promises, not someday, but now. The housing crisis, the healthcare crisis, the crisis of workers' rights. It isn't a personal failure by any individual. It's the success of a system designed to extract from working people while protecting the wealth and power of the billionaire class. It's the system that blankets the country in AI data centers instead of creating good-paying jobs. A system that ushered in union-busting Reaganism to pave the way for Donald Trump's fascism. A system that's collapsed democracy to usher in oligarchy. I'm Assemblymember Claire Valdez, and I'm running for Congress. Because deserving it all means fighting for it all. Housing for all, because in the wealthiest city, in the wealthiest country, one job should be more than enough to make rent. Medicare for all, because insurance and big pharma cartels should not control our economy. Unions for all, because as a union organizer, I believe you should be defined for the life you're meant to live, not the rights you're being stripped of. We will usher in a golden age of organized labor to battle back the new gilded age that is upon us. Our solidarity doesn't stop at the shop floor or a border. It means standing with Puerto Rico against colonial exploitation. It means opposing apartheid and genocide in Palestine. It means rejecting violent regime change in Venezuela while elites mine for oil. This year, Democrats across the country will take on MAGA fascists to win back the majority. But it is this district that will decide what that majority fights for. Everywhere, it's the same fight. Workers against a rigged system, protecting the wealth and power of the billionaire class. Those being pushed to the margins versus a belief that no one should be left behind. This campaign is about building power together. No worker, no organizer, no mayor can do it all alone. This campaign is a child of a movement. We will fight and campaign and grow and govern together. When workers organize, we don't just ask for justice. We demand it, and we win it. I'm Assemblymember Claire Valdez, a union organizer and democratic socialist running for Congress.
right? You gotta wear it on your sleeve, right? Not be scared to say what you are, who you are, what you stand for, right? You gotta wear it on your sleeves. Not be scared to say, hey, I'm a democratic socialist. Um, right? Not be scared to say what it is, right? Everyone double tap on the screen, hit the like, button, hit the share button, and I appreciate you all, right? Hit the like button. I appreciate you all. I'm gonna share one more person that's not a democratic socialist, but I think is aligned with a lot of democratic socialist values. And then I'm gonna mention the casino a little bit because I gotta talk about the casino always, right? Um, the casino they want to build in New York City, right? It's crazy that they want to do this. They're already opening the one in Resorts World, and we're trying to oppose the one in Flushing Meadow Corona Park that's going to change the neighborhood where our kids live, the air they breathe. It's not something um, that's going to be a benefit to Queens. It's not, right? As much as people want to say it's going to be good. We need change, right? We need change in our whole economic system, right? So, okay, so let's see. I'm looking for the video. Okay, let's see. Okay, that's all it takes. So I'll touch two topics at the same time. All right. I know I played it before, but I gotta play it again, right? He's not a democratic socialist, but he should be. His point of views are very to the left, right?
Then you should be really angry about this. Listen, Steve Cohen is the owner of the Mets. Bought them in 2020 for $2.4 billion. To this day, still the highest price ever paid for a baseball team. Look, let's go Mets, but no way their last place finish that year in the NL East justifies that price. Makes no sense, right? Actually, it makes perfect sense because Steve Cohen wasn't buying the Mets. He was buying the lease to the land they play on. And at the end of last year, he won permission to build a casino there on the parking lot of Citi Field. A casino that nobody asked for. A casino that will bring to Queens what a casino always brings everywhere. Gambling addiction, exploitation, and human
Casinos
trafficking.
are not good.
And if you know Steve Cohen, this shouldn't surprise you.
Casinos are not
In
gonna help.
2013, his hedge fund had to pay a $1.2 billion fine for insider trading. Since then, he's invested in for-profit ICE detention centers, defense contractors, Republican super PACs, and Donald Trump. He's a billionaire oligarch, betting on the suffering of vulnerable people. Now he's betting against Queens. How do we get to this point? Money. For years, Steve Cohen and his army of
Money, money,
lobbyists gave free
money.
Mets tickets, first pitches, private tours, and yes, political donations to elected leaders at every level, including my opponent, Grace May. In fact, her campaign is brought to you by the same consultants who are pushing this casino. Maybe that's why she's been completely silent on what is the biggest development project in the history of her long political career, a project more than triple the size of the Amazon HQ2 proposal. So, Representative May, where do you stand on the casino? When will you host a town hall or a debate to answer our questions? Will you ever stand up for Queens?
Interesting, right? Interesting way to segue into what I wanted to talk about. I just thought about it. And I'm like, why am I hiding? Let's talk about it. The big elephant in the room, right? Let's talk about the big elephant in the room, right? Why not talk about the elephant in the room in our neighborhoods that have been trying to destroy us, right? You gotta talk about that. The elephant in the room, right? We gotta talk about the elephant, the big money people, right? We gotta talk about the big money people, right? So this is a website that people put together tracking the money about the casino, right? This is a small subset, right? Uh, New York Mets owner and hedge fund billionaire Steve Cohen proposed Metropolitan Park Casino in Flushing Meadows, Corona Park, Queens, New York, triggered a highly aggressive New York City lobbying and political influence campaign. Our investigation examines publicly available records, including campaign donations, Cohen-affiliated foundation grants, and casino-attributed lobbying expenditures. We also reviewed transcripts from 11 public hearings and voting records at city and state level, which allowed the alienation of public parkland for the casino. The visualization graph on this page contains 72,218 nodes representing politicians, donors, lobbyists, and community and nonprofit leaders and organizations, right? So it shows, right, who the lobbyists are. It shows this is Metropolitan Park Casino Investigation.com. And what does it show? Top casino connected donors. New York Hotel and Gaming Trades Council, $173,650. AFL-CIO, Building and Construction Trades Council of Greater New York City and vicinity, $161,550. Larry Robbins, $135,100. For New York City District Council of Carpenters, $133,000. Jeff T. Blau, Stephen A. Cohen, Paul Tudor Jones, Cheryl McKissick Daniel, Alexandra Cohen. So Robin Hood Foundation, $5 million. Stephen A. Alexandra Cohen Foundation, $3 million. Amazing Mets Foundation, 1,947,000. So if you go to this website, go to Metropolitan Park Casino Investigation.com. You'll be able to see all the financials, who got money, which politicians got the most donations, which it says Lorinda Hooks, Chanel Thomas Henry, Brian Romero, Catalina Cruz, Vicar Krishna, Jessica Gonzalez Rojas, Steven Raga, Diffran L. Aubrey, Jessica um, Ramos, Francisco Moya, Sam Berger, Sandra Ung, Donovan Richards, Julia Salazar. So these are casino grants. Julia Salazar, Vicky Palladino, John C. Liu, Eric L. Adams, that was the former mayor, Kathy T. Hochul, and Ron Kim. Um, and they lobbied real hard, right? Lobbying attribution. So they lobbied Francisco Moya real hard, Donovan Richards, Sandy Nurse, Jessica Ramos, Adrian Adams, Shahana Hanif, uh, Christopher Marte, Catalina Cruz, Lindsay Shulman, and Joseph P. I'm not sure the last name, Anthony or Antonio, right? So, and then these are the grants that they got, right? The funds for the city of New York, Amazing Mets Foundation, Town Center of New York. It breaks it down. Uh, Urban Unbound, the Hispanic Federation, Encore Youth and Adult Activities, Neighborhood Housing Service of Queens, Public Athletic League, New York Hall of Science, YMCA of Flushing, Variety Boys and Girls Club of Queens, Korean Community Services, YMCA of Greater New York, Woodside on the Move, right? The list goes on and on of those that benefit from a billionaire, Steve Cohen's casino, that a report shows that it's going to displace a lot of people and a lot of people's homes. And a lot of people that have affordable housing are going to lose their affordable housing as a result of this predatory casino. Predatory because we know that casinos often cause serious problems in our society. And a lot of them have failed because now you could bet from home, you could bet on your phone, you could bet on your computer. So why invest in a huge casino that has a chance of failing and then being empty? And it's going to be built with parkland next to it, parkland underneath it, and parkland around it. So that's dangerous, everyone. That we just give up our parkland, like giving up, like building something on Central Park, which they wanted to do for a long time, or in building something in Van Cortlandt Park or in Prospect Park. This sets a bad precedent. This sets a really bad precedent that they're going to want to build on parkland with it's scarce and not that much in New York. So cut down the trees just to build casinos. I mean, this is audacious, right? And they say, oh, because it was a parking lot. But why now? Why are they willing to do it? So help us oppose the casino. Go to No Casino on Instagram. Go to No Casino on Instagram. And also go to the website, which is right here. Um, the website is right here. Metropolitan Park Casino Investigation. Metropolitan Park Casino Investigation. I appreciate you all for joining me today. It's going to be a short live, but I appreciate you. Have a good day. Have a good night. May God be with you. And make sure you hit up the Cash App. Nobody has sent anything, not even a quarter. I wonder if it even works. Cash App, $ Old Man Labor, Old Man Labor. And it seems like it doesn't work, right? And I've been had a record of um, fighting against the system. Even if I get burned and I lose, but I do what I have to do, right? So I'll put the link, right? I'll put the link to the GoFundMe also, right? I'll put the link to the GoFundMe to all the people that want to donate to my lawsuits. I'm fighting against huge entities in New York City, right? I appreciate you. Um, this is the GoFundMe page. I'll put it up on the screen. Um, I'll put it up on the screen. GoFundMe, and I'll talk about it for 1 minute before I log off, right? I'll talk about it, right? A little bit. So, the hardworking people that run the transit system, why are more transit workers being attacked on the job? And I was a whistleblower. I hope a lot of these articles get published against my employer. They didn't like that very much, right? They did not like that very much. They were really upset and felt very threatened.
I wanted to make this video to summarize things for people that are not understanding what's going on. Basically, the MTA hires disciplinary people. I'm Celso Garcia. They hire ex-prosecutors, lawyers to go as hard as possible against regular blue-collar workers. It's no coincidence that Evangeline Byers was terminated. They went after her. Tramal Thompson was terminated. They went after him. I was terminated. They went after me. These prosecutors, when they take a case, it's a case of like they're very interested in people that speak up through social media, through videos, expose the things that the MTA is doing. These are the ones that they go after as hard as possible. It's not a coincidence, people. The MTA uses discipline to make the employees miserable and to make sure that they fall in line and follow their rules, even if they're not safe for people or not the best thing for the public or for the employees. They do as they please, when they please, and they're used to doing this for years. That's my update. Thank you for listening. Have a good day. I'll sign off and make sure you donate to the GoFundMe. Thank you.
So what they do, right? Right? So donate to the GoFundMe. I've raised $1,000. The goal is $25,000. I know I could do it. Um, this is to file an appeal of what this is to fight an appeal. The decision of a lower court judge has never taken into consideration any of my evidence, just decided to dismiss my case at the request of my own union, right? At the request of my own union, and management went along with it. So, with your help, with your donation, we can make this happen. Make it a better world for the workers, such as you, such as myself. Thank you so much. Anything to help. The goal is $25,000. Thank you. Thank you so much. Hopefully you watch this video to the end. So thank you for your support. And all the people that donated, more than 24 donations, thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate you all. Like they say, inshallah, in God's mercy. Shalom. Many blessings to everyone, no matter what language you speak. Thank you so much for your support. And with that, I'll be ending the live. Thank you for supporting me, and have a good night, everyone. Take care. And I encourage you all to look into democratic socialism, because the people that believe in it are the ones that are willing to fight for you and fight for the working people. Thank you, everyone. Have a good night. May the peace of God be with you all, if you believe. If you don't believe, I still believe in you, and many blessings. And don't forget to don't give up on workers. Don't give up on workers. Keep fighting the good fight for the world to change, and for not everything to be about money and profit, but to improve lives wherever you are. We need to improve lives, because in the end of the day, we reduce suffering and we make people's life better, then it's all worth it, right? It's all worth it. Thank you for joining me. Have a good day. Take care, everyone. Bye bye.